Yo, welcome back to the house where we talk news, celebrities, and hot topics. Listen, I want to go ahead and give you guys an update on Married to Medicine. Dr. Heavenly is really dragging the hell out of Carlos. Gagged his ass. Gagged. Okay, gagged his ass talking about, oh, you're a wannabe Andy. Ooh, are you a journalist? Are you an interviewer? Are you a producer? She said, are you a blogger? Are you a YouTuber? No, she didn't say that. But basically, okay, is you going to be the producer or the interviewer? Then said that he was biased at the situation and gave her sis Quad, Miss Quad, she's got it, she got it, gave her a softball interview. It was quite interesting, okay? And I don't think Carlos King could take it. Listen, if you're going to... I couldn't handle Dr. Heavenly when I was on her. I was so confused. First off, Dr. Heavenly does not watch the show. So she is, just going off of a whim and then expecting you to give her points. That's number one. Number two, when she has it set in her mind that her truth is her truth, if you try to combat that truth or rebut that truth, it's just not happening. Like, she's not going to let you do it. She's not going to let you do it. And I low-key felt bad for Carlos because it kind of seemed like Carlos was defeated, even though I'm not going to say he gave Dr. Heavenly a run for her money, but I feel like, he tried to hold his own, but it wasn't really working because, Dr. Heavenly chewed Carlos King up and spit his ass out. It was very entertaining. Okay. Listen, but before we get to that, the internet is dragging Dr. Jackie now. It's so ironic and funny because last Sunday night we saw that Jackie had this stint with Kamala Harris, the vice president of these United States. And they were talking about the mortality rate for Black women who are in the process of giving birth. And what's crazy is in this resurfaced clip that I saw on the Neighborhood Talk, she was saying how Black women, African Americans, they cry wolf. And they are not serious, and they be wanting doctor notes. They complain to the doctors and want doctor notes to get out of work, and they cry wolf. And, therefore the doctors don't really know when there's a real issue or not with the pregnant lady, with the Black pregnant people, pregnant mothers, okay? Which is in complete contradiction to what she was talking about with Kamala Harris, which is in complete contradiction to what she was talking about on to last Sunday's Watch What Happens Live, when Andy Cohen said, well, what can we do about the mortality rate for Black mothers giving birth? She said, well, they need to be advocate for themselves. They need to speak up for themselves. But you, in this resurfaced clip, said that Black women be crying wolf. Let's talk about it. Hold on.
Sometimes, as African American women, we're a bit more dramatic.
Whoa.
And that you go to the doctor and you complain and you complain and you complain, and you're not taken serious because you cried wolf the entire pregnancy.
That ain't me, boo. I don't know what you're talking about, but go ahead.
I didn't say you. I just said as African American women.
And said it twice and stood on it, 10 toes down.
Want to also make sure you're being serious with your doctor and not playing the game so I can take you off work. Because then we see you 25 times in the pregnancy. It's hard to believe that there's a true problem when there's a true problem.
Now listen, I am named Bennett. I'm not in it. I'm not a woman. I'm not an OBGYN. I'm not a doctor. I don't have a vagina, never gave birth, never planned to give birth. However, I do have a brain and ears. And I'm hearing and I'm comprehending. And it kind of seems like she said the quiet part out loud. She said what a lot of professionals, a lot of medical professionals are saying behind the scenes and thinking. She's saying the quiet part out loud. A lot of medical professionals feel like Black women cry wolf. Therefore, when something is really wrong, they do not get the proper care. Okay? She's saying the quiet part out loud. I don't know if that's true. I don't know if there's context missing to this clip. I don't know if there's some nuance to this. But the people didn't like it because this is what she was talking about with Kamala Harris.
Wealthiest countries in the world, the United States of America, we have the highest rates of maternal mortality. That Black women in our country in this era are 3 times more likely to die in connection with childbirth. I think it's inexcusable.
It certainly shouldn't be that way. And what I really want us to do is just make sure we are talking about it.
we have been fighting for states to expand.
All right, and then they go on and on and on and on and on about Medicare, Medicaid, all of this stuff, insurance, yada, 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 yada. She went on to Watch What Happens Live and said women need to advocate for themselves and a doula and a midwife and these things. Make sure that healthcare professionals are listening to you, right? Because that is why these women are dying. The healthcare professionals are not taking Black women serious. And according to Dr. Jackie, it's because the African-American women cry wolf. And she said it not once but twice. Okay. Listen, the people are not happy with that, okay? XO said, for a Black woman to say this and white women in healthcare to admit how much Black women has been and are overlooked health-wise is insane. Okay, Tierra said, this is sad. It doesn't matter what a woman says when she's pregnant. If she's asking you to write her a note or to be off work, just do it. Okay. Julie Patrice said, y'all ain't realized that Dr. Jackie is the villain of Married to Medicine yet. Not calling her the villain. Behind the smarts and success is some shit going on. Brittany wrote, her saying this is dangerous. She is not even a mother. I'm gonna take a sip on that. Dr. Jackie's not even a mother, so how can she say pregnant women are dramatic? Mariah was right about Jackie. Her slip is showing. Whoa. Doricio wrote, this is truly disturbing coming from a Black woman. Lord Azula said Jackie has always been a bit two-faced, but since she's smart and talks slow and asks you to put on your prayer cloth, y'all believe anything out of her mouth. She can sell salt to a slug, and maybe that's why Kamala Harris wanted her to be on the program, on the Zoom call with her, because, you know, she can sell the message, right? The Griot said this solidifies that even Black doctors are not on your side. Black women, you need to advocate for yourselves when it comes to the medical field. Many practitioners feel that you are expendable and not worthy of the care that they give their white patients. Okay. Kyra said, if you can't carry a baby. So y'all let me know how y'all feel about that in the comments down below. All right, so moving right along. Is she contradicting herself? Are we just being too hard on Jackie? Like, is there some truth to what she's saying? Like, I'm a little bit confused at the situation. Y'all let me know. Okay. Alrighty. So moving right along to Dr. Heavenly and Carlos King. This was really interesting because they were supposed to be recapping the show, right, on their Messy Monday live and whatnot. And, you know, they ended up talking about Carlos King's interview with Quad. Now, we talked about this about a day or two ago, right? And most of the people were like, oh my God, like, Carlos, you're her friend. You need to be honest with Quad. She's deflecting. She's not owning up to anything. She's not holding herself accountable. She's skating and sliding and sliding all up and down the rink, child, trying to avoid the questions directly. And, it's not just Heavenly that's saying this. Everybody was saying this. I read so many comments of people saying this. So they're going back and forth. And it's really interesting because it kind of seemed like Carlos King during this live held Heavenly more accountable for the things that she does and says than he did with Quad. All right, so let's watch.
Sometimes
that's not it.
Like, no, Heavenly.
I love it.
Heavenly, did you gag?
I was like, listen, that is the smartest thing you could have ever did, because you didn't tell me you was dropping that interview. I saw that on the vlogs, like Quad heard about her man being on Married to Medicine. On the blog.
Oh!
I heard about that
You mean her ex, honey, her ex-husband. Right?
Which ain't true. But anyway, that's not true. Let's speak truth, because I done heard a lot of stuff, right? But I'm ready to speak truth now, because I've been feeling bad for Quad because of all the horrific things she's been going through in her life. But never in your life will you going to sit up and lie on Dr. Heavenly, because I tells the truth, okay? We're not going to skid around. We're not going to allow to play around and skip the truth and get around the questions like you allowed her to do.
Did Carlos King allow that? Did Carlos King allow Quad to deflect? Okay, so that was the first shot, child. And throughout this whole damn thing, it got worse.
No! Let's get our pleasantries out first, because you know.
Okay. Well, are you okay? I'm pleasant. Are you?
I am. No. Okay. I'm always pleasant.
Okay, because you're way more pleasant today than you were at the dinner table.
So, Heavenly is saying that you gave Quad a softball interview and you allowed her to deflect, excuse me. Carlos is saying that the way you and the rest of the ladies treated Quad in the past few episodes has been shitty.
Absolutely. And you were very pleasant in your interview with Quad and did not hold her feet to the fire for anything. But
okay. The way, I know. I think the same way you don't hold Dr. Jackie's feet to the fire when she's wrong, like she was at the table. Like,
Dr. Jackie is a professional lady. She weren't there. All we did was speak out.
Okay. And you weren't at my interview with Quad, so you don't know.
I saw it though. Like, and it was cut up real good.
I know you saw it too.
I go live. So I know I'm not lying.
But the thing with me.
So Heavenly is saying, you know, you cut your interview up, you edit your interview, helping Quad to deflect from the truth and the questions.
I mean, unlike you, Heavenly, I let people talk.
Absolutely.
And I let people express themselves without interruption. Whoa. So I think when you saw my interview with Quad, you probably never seen in your life somebody allowed to speak without interruption.
Okay, so 1 point for Carlos. 1 point for Carlos because Heavenly has been eating you up. Okay, saying that you let Quad skate and skid and slide, deflecting all those questions. All right, 1 point for Heavenly, 1 point for Carlos. Carlos said, girl, you don't let anyone get a word in when they talk to you.
Well, the interesting thing, if you're going to be a true journalist, you have to...
Whoa! Not a true journalist. Heavenly, do you know who you're talking to? This is the second coming to Barbara Walters. This is the second coming to Anderson Cooper, Jake Tapper, Wolf Blitzer, Oprah Winfrey, Katie Couric, Diane Sawyer. Do you know who you're talking to? Don't downplay his job now.
Actually be unbiased. And you
I am unbiased.
Yes, you are very much so.
Oh no, I'm unbiased. She don't fuck with you, and I do this with you every night. Monday night.
I'm saying.
Yeah. We know, Carlos. We know that you talk to everybody. You're friends with everybody. Everybody is your girl. We know.
You're very biased in your interview and your last interview. Ask anybody, Carlos. It ain't just
I'm
me.
biased.
Yes.
The way I'm biased. The way you're biased when it comes to the Golden Girls. Okay.
Yes.
And who are the Golden Girls? Is it Jackie and Simone and the rest of the women? Is he calling them old? Isn't that what a Golden Girl is? Old women? I'm just asking.
Yes, you are. I'm just saying. You know,
no. So I'm confused because if I talk to you and you and I do this every Monday night, you don't mess with you. So how am I biased when I talk to you, I talk to her? I think what you're confused.
Because there was no accountability in the interview. Right? When you interview someone, a good interview, and I'm not saying he's a bad interviewer because he's not, but like a good interviewer will allow the interviewee to speak their truth. And as the interviewer, you need to open up a safe space. However, as the interviewer, you also need to hold their truth. You need to hold their truth to account. So you allow them to speak their truth, but if their truth ain't seeming like the objective truth, then you try to push back a little with some objectivity. Does that make sense? But that's just like interviewing 101 as a person who's learning how to interview myself.
Is you want people
let me know if I'm wrong.
To always see your point of view, and because you well, you're doing it now. Because you like to interrupt people without them speaking.
I do agree with that. Okay. I did have a live with Dr. Heavenly and it was difficult. Okay. So I will give Carlos King his credit because I'm not going to say Heavenly is aggressive, but she is extremely assertive. And it will have you thinking, well, damn, like, is my point valid? Because she definitely will drive her points home, child.
I think that's your way of forming sentences and your line of questioning and your way of wanting to do things. So the way I do interviews, like I've done with everybody from Nene Lee's, Kenya Moore, Jocelyn Hernandez,
okay, resume.
I get the exclusives. So the reason why I do is because I allow people to talk and express themselves. I don't come into anything with judgment. And I think on what I seen, you girls.
Clip number 3.
To shade because I do this for a living. You don't know how to do this, boo. If you want to do this, let's set the barriers right now, boopy. Because if we want to be an interviewer or we want to be a producer, which one we want to be?
Do you want to be an interviewer or do you want to be a producer? Do you want to be an interviewer or do you want to be a blogger? Do you want to be an interviewer or do you want to be a YouTuber? Do you want to be an interviewer or do you want to do a podcaster? We call him Carlos King, the blogger over here.
Oh, I'm multifaceted. The way
not multifaceted like Monietta Shaw. Heavenly, you're also multifaceted with the financial advice and Dr. Heavenly University and the beauty supply store and the dentistry and the reality TV star. And you're also a blogger. You blog about the show that you star on.
The way you no, the way you grill teeth.
So that was a lot. But listen, I think it was all fun. But I do feel like Carlos was offended. I felt like he was offended because Dr. Heavenly really was going to hell in. And I think Heavenly felt a ways because she felt like during Quad's interview, Quad made Heavenly out to be a liar. And I think Heavenly feels like Carlos allowed it. All right. So y'all let me know how y'all feel about everything in the comments down below. That was funny. I got my entire life. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to create a great day. Bye.